He hates AEW as much as CM Punk. He cusses more than Stone Cold in his prime, and he loves Rhea Ripley. This is We Are Not Entertained with Tommy Haley.
Alrighty, hello everyone, and welcome to the first WrestleMania Weekend edition. I'm Tommy Haley. How you guys doing? I'm doing great. This weekend was awesome. I had a blast, especially after Monday. So let's get straight into it. Let's go. I'm gonna go real quickly through the Stand and Deliver card. Cause I'm gonna be honest, like I told myself, I was gonna try to stay up and watch it. Yeah, around 9 o'clock, I just straight up passed out and fell asleep. So I'm gonna go really quickly through the match card. Shawn Spears versus Joe Gacy. I guess Joe Gacy was the face in this. He took a chair shot from Ridge Holland, which I thought he said he was going to retire or something like that, or he was done with WWE. I guess he's back. I don't know the extent of this. Either way, Gacy beats Shawn Spears by pinfall. It's a pre-show match. Who really cares? NXT Tag Champs, the Wolf Dogs, team of Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker versus Nathan Frazier and Axiom. The only thing to come out of this match was Braun Breaker running the ropes and straight up moving the entire ring, which, dude's a fucking freak of nature. I mean, oh my god. He literally was shaking the fucking ring. That dude can run the ropes so fast. Now, the question is, can he do math like his uncle? That's the real question here. And I guess he can. So, that's a very dangerous man. Anyway, the Wolf Dogs, I guess the Wolf Dogs retain, which I don't like that call because I feel like Braun should be on the main roster by now, especially with Paul Heyman not doing anything right now. So, there's that. North American Championship triple threat match between Obafemi, Josh Briggs, and Dominic Dijakovic. Obafemi retains. I didn't watch any of this, so I don't have any thoughts. Then we had the women's six tag match. The team of Holly, Henley, and Jordan defeat Dame, James, and Jane by submission. I don't know. Roxanne Perez versus Laya Valkyria. Roxanne won via submission, so she is the new NXT Women's Champion. I ain't gonna lie, they should probably keep that on her for a while and then have her feud with Cora Jade for the title for the next couple of weeks or so. I don't know. There was that. Then the NXT Championship, Ilya Dragunov versus Tony D'Angelo with the family. Ilya Dragunov defeated Tony D'Angelo by pinfall to retain the NXT Championship. Not gonna lie, I really thought the title would change hands. So, I'm pretty sure there was a thing a couple weeks ago before Stand and Deliver that they are trying to get some visa stuff. I think visa stuff worked out, or some kinks worked out with him and Ilya visiting his family a lot. So there's that. And then the main event, Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes. I really wish I was awake to watch this match because apparently this match was really good. And the only thing I saw out of this match was both intros where you hear the entire Wells Fargo Center literally just screaming "Whoop that Trick" at the top of their lungs. And it kind of sucks that I missed that because that was really cool to see. I just imagine the main roster. It's going to be good. But Trick Williams picked up the win. So, it's going to be interesting to see where Carmelo goes from here. I think he's main roster. There are two people in the men's division of NXT that I know are 1,000% main roster ready. And that's Carmelo and Braun. They are so main roster. And Ilya. Those three men are so main roster ready. I don't know why they're not on the main roster yet. With Trick, I foresee the NXT Championship in his hands sooner or later. I'd say down the road. I don't think they put it on him just yet. But I think the NXT Championship is in his future. So, By the way, this was also a large crowd in this version of NXT's history. So that was really cool to see. But let's get into WrestleMania Night 1. We start with a new intro of Dead Now and Forever. Like, it's like all the wrestlers that are in the Dead Now and Forever are basically constellations. It was really cool to see. And then we start WrestleMania, not with America the Beautiful, but the national anthem. So that was really interesting to see. And I was like wondering to myself, I'm like, why the hell are they not starting with America the Beautiful? I guess they saved that for night 2. Spoilers, if you didn't watch. We start then with Triple H going out and basically giving us the welcome to WrestleMania. Basically, he cut a promo being like, can't believe you guys are here. This is awesome to see. This is a new era. Welcome to WrestleMania. That was basically this version being like, yeah, let's not have Vince do the soundbite, even though Howard Finkel is right there when he did the soundbite of Welcome to WrestleMania. But that's besides the point. Either way, we had him do Welcome to WrestleMania, so that's going to be a new soundbite for a while now. And yeah, this is straight up a pretty much a new era, because this is like the first time in history that Vince, that I'm going to say his name, Vince is not in any way, shape, or form on the WrestleMania card at all. Not just produced, like, at all. Like, any shred of touching Vince. God, that sounded so bad. Vince isn't anywhere to be seen at all. This is the first time in history that Vince McMahon will not be on WrestleMania. So, let's start with the opening match of night 1. Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley. Not gonna lie, really good way to open WrestleMania night 1. So we had Becky come out, basically promote her book and all that, and she had a ring attire, which was, I guess, supposed to be your book. I don't know. And then we had Rhea, who, Motionless in White, the people that sing her theme song, were there in person doing it live. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't understand how Rhea broke character, because she's, like, the biggest Motionless in White fan. Because I remember when she debuted for the Mania in Classic, they asked her what her favorite band was, and she's like, Motionless in White. So it's like a really cool full circle moment for Rhea. Also, she has long hair now. If you want to go see her with long hair, I suggest go searching that up. In my opinion, she looks really good with long hair, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say anything else. Internet wrestling community is going to say everything else for me. I don't need to do that. But other than that, it was a really good opener to start night 1. It was, it wasn't fast-paced. It was very methodical, technical. But overall, it was really good. There were a lot of good near falls. Becky had like an avalanche manhandle slam for a 2 count, and then she went for the disarmer, and then Becky went for the disarmer, and then Rhea countered it into an electric chair on the outside, and then Rhea hits Riptide on the turnbuckle, and then another Riptide for the win. So Rhea retains. Honestly, I think they're going to keep that on her for another year. I'm kind of right. I was kind of right. They're kind of setting it up for her and Bianca next year at Mania at 40, 41, I think? Whether it be in Minnesota or Vegas. So, also, this is kind of interesting to see how we're already past Mania, and we don't know where it's going to be next year. We know it's going to either be in Minnesota or Vegas. It's going to be either one. So, overall, I'd give this match a solid 8.5 out of 10. Or, if I do the star ranking, I give it a solid 3.5 stars. It's a really good opener. Get the crowd nice and warmed up, because the temperature for night 1 of WrestleMania, it was 50 degrees, and it felt like like 45. So wind was blowing, everyone was cold, and everyone's going to be like, oh, the crowd wasn't live. Well, it's 50 degrees out. It was cold as fuck. So, this is why they should sometimes do WrestleMania indoors. So, that's the whole other argument for something. The next match is the 6-pack ladder match for the Tag Team Championships. Now, remember, the match ends when either one team pulls down both titles or two teams pull down their respective brand titles. So say, for example, the New Day pulls down the Raw Tag Team Championships, Raw Tag Team belts. They are the Raw Tag Team Champions. And if the SmackDown titles are still hanging, then we still need to crown SmackDown Tag Team Champions. So the titles will be split, and guess what? They were. It's a ladder match. 12 people, like, let's see. Like 12 people in this ring. Like a bunch of people, a bunch of tag teams for a ladder match is just one of the most insane visuals I will ever see in my life. It's just so crazy seeing that many people in a ring. Then again, I don't know why I say that, because I watch the Royal Rumble almost every goddamn year. But yeah, I fucking love R-Truth, man. R-Truth is the best. You know why? Because this is a ladder match. The Miz is getting beat, and he's trying to go for a fucking hot tag in a ladder match, by the way. And then he goes for a pin, and then the crowd counts 1, 2, 3. So R-Truth wins. The Awesome Truth win, even though the match is still going on. So there's that. And then we have so the teams, we have the Awesome Truth, Judgment Day, the New Day, British Strong Style, which is basically Ridge Holland and, or not Ridge Holland, who was it? Why am I blanking? Why am I blanking on the match? Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. And then DIY coming out in DX gear, because R-Truth thinks Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano are Triple H and Shawn Michaels, which they kind of played into that because Tommaso was basically in Triple H gear, and then Johnny Gargano was in HBK gear with the cowboy hat, which is probably funny to think, because probably during that, Johnny probably went to Stand and Deliver and went to Gorilla. He's like, hey, can I borrow your hat tonight? And he was probably like, sure. And then that's how it happened. He had that fucking cowboy hat and everything. So, other than that, he was really good. Then we had A-Town Down Under, and who was the final team? I think I named all the teams. I don't know. The first team to pull down the SmackDown tag titles. Yes, we finally had the title split. I am so happy that the titles are finally split. The team of A-Town Down Under are your SmackDown tag team champions. And then we have JD McDonough trying to help the Judgment Day get the tag titles. And then motherfucker gets absolutely spiked through a table. Oh my god, he went through that table almost Mick Foley-esque. Like, he went down, and he went down hard. And then the Judgment Day almost get the win. Then R-Truth stops them, climbs the ladder, makes his dreams a reality, pulls down the Raw Tag Team Champions. The Awesome Truth are tag team champions for the first time in their career, by the way. When they teamed way back in the day, they never won their respective tag team titles. And now 8 years later, WrestleMania moment for R-Truth, finally is a tag team champion. So that was really nice to see. I give that a solid 4 stars. It's a ladder match. You're going to have so much fun. Crowd was into it so much. it was just really cool to see. The next match was the dead spot match, pretty much, was the team of Andrade and Rey Mysterio going up against Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. I would like to point out that this match was sponsored by Agua Fresca. Yes, you heard that right. This match was sponsored by Agua Fresca. No, I am not making this up. Don't look it up. Okay. That was very offensive. I'll just wait until we get to the other match. The only thing of note was Rey Mysterio and Andrade doing a double crossbody. Other than that, Rey Mysterio wins again at WrestleMania, doesn't put his son over. Yeah, I got nothing really else to say about this match. It was okay. The problem was it came after the fucking ladder match, so the crowd was kind of burnt out. So that was a true dead spot match. But, I mean, other than that, it was alright. Santos Escobar is really good. Andrade has that good fake out, like, elbow thing, whatever it is. Like the Judas effect kind of deal. So, also, I deadass thought Andrade was going to turn on Rey during this match, because that's usually what happens when he tags with someone. So, the next match was Jimmy and Jey Uso. The worst match of WrestleMania this year. It was as bad as Jeff and Matt at Mania 25. It was that bad. Crowd wasn't into it. Jimmy's not a good single star. Jey is good, but not Jimmy. But this match needed a stipulation, and it needed it bad. Like, really bad. Like, it needed the street fight or false count anywhere stipulation. But this was the third time in WrestleMania history that legitimate brothers were going up against each other on WrestleMania. First it was Owen and Brett, then it was Matt and Jeff, and now it's Jimmy and Jey. Remember, actual blood relatives, so no Kane and Undertaker. So, this match stunk. It straight up sucked. I mean, I don't know what I was going into expecting this. This match needed a stipulation so bad. Like, an ambulance match would have been awesome to see. Falls count anywhere. No DQ. It just needed a street fight. Would have been awesome for this one. It just needed a stipulation really bad. Just needed shenanigans. So, Jimmy loses, so Jey defeats Jimmy for the win. This match stunk. The next match was Damage Control versus Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair, or as someone on Twitter pointed out, the Cocoa Butter Combat Club. This match was to make Jade look like $1 million, and that's exactly what they did. Jade looked really good in the ring. Very, very good in the ring. And then she picked this was basically the Jade Cargill show, because they want to make sure she's a main event player to stay. I really feel like she can either be they can either be lining her up for the World Heavyweight Women's World Title or the Women's WWE title. I think it's the former for the world title, because I feel like Rhea and Jade would work really well in the ring together. So that's going to be interesting to see. Either way, Damage Control takes the L against Cocoa Butter Combat Club. I have nothing to say about this other than it just made Jade look like $1 million, and it totally worked. The next match is the IC title match between Sami Zayn and Gunther. Honestly, besides the main event, this was match of the night. Sami Zayn, I'm just going to say it now, Sami Zayn's your new Intercontinental Champion. After 666 days, Gunther is no more. The Ring General has lost his IC title after 666 days. So, during this match, Gunther had control the entire match. He was just straight up beating the shit out of Sami Zayn. And I mean, just absolutely beating the shit out of him. But before we get to the match, let's start with how Sami got out. They had the continuous long shot of him going to Gorilla. And who is there before Gorilla? Kevin Owens. Arms crossed. And it's like, oh shit. This is like happening tonight, isn't it? And guess what? It did. Because KO got him all fucking hyped up, and he's like, finish it. And that's exactly what he did. It was really cool to see his family obviously implemented into it. And it was really cool to see. Because, guess what Sami Zayn hit? The fucking Brain Buster. On WWE television. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Brain Buster is, Sami Zayn, I'm going to blow people's minds when I say this. Sami Zayn was El Generico, and El Generico's finish was the Brain Buster. Brain Buster. Not the Brain Buster. Brain Buster. So, that was really cool to see. And Michael Cole really sold it on commentary too. That it wasn't a brain buster, it was a brain buster. So that was really cool to see. Sami gets a couple helluva kicks in. 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn is your new Intercontinental Champion. I foresee Gunther moving up the card now. Now that he's done with the IC title. So everyone's like, well, what's next for Gunther? World Heavyweight title. So, there was that. And then the main event. The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. The deciding factor of if Cody and Seth win, no bloodline. If The Rock and Roman win, bloodline rules, which is just no DQ. So, I'm not gonna lie. This was a very fun almost 50 minutes of a main event. Yes, you heard that right. 50 fucking minutes. 50 minutes. This match went 45 plus, which is unironically hilarious considering this is The Rock's first match in I don't know how long. No, the one at 32 does not count. So, it's really funny to see. But anyway, I mean, it was just almost an Attitude Era-esque main event. You had it going out the outside. You basically had corporate entity in The Rock being like, if you start counting, you're fucking fired. The Rock doesn't fuck around. It was just old school, man. It was just old school WWE, where they just go to the outside. Shit happens on the outside. All the stuff where like they would easily get DQ'd, all that stuff happens. Like, it was just so much. It was so much fun to watch. Of course, The Rock and Roman win because Cody decided to go for the 3 crossroads, and by the time when he hit the second one, when he goes for the third one, The Rock basically whips his ass with the belt that he gave his mom. Or I guess his father-in-law. But it was fun to see. Another person that got the absolute shit beaten out of him, Seth Rollins. Because he's had knee problems and back problems, so they were really heavily targeting that. So yeah. The Rock and Roman won night 1 of WrestleMania. So it would have been really cool to see Cody and Seth win, though. It would have been really cool. So, anyway, that's how night 1 ends. Night 2, we open with the World Heavyweight title. So, overall, I give night 1 a solid 4 out of 5. I thought it was really good. And I had a lot of fun watching night 1. So, there was that. Now let's go to night 2. We open with the World Heavyweight title between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. I ain't gonna lie, Drew looked fucking Drew came out with, like, bagpipes, all that stuff, and it was kind of funny. The bagpipes started playing Roddy Piper stuff, and we deadass thought, like, the Hot Rod was gonna show up. So, there was that. And then Seth comes out to the Merms of Philadelphia. I don't know what it was. It looked like goddamn Mardi Gras, which was really cool to see. And then Seth comes out in the goofiest looking thing ever. So, Drew immediately goes for the Claymore to start the match, and just Drew is just dominating, and also fixated on CM Punk. And also during the match, homie live tweeted and said, "Bored at work, lol." No surprise here. Drew picks up the win, finally gets his Mania moment. He is your new World Heavyweight title, and what does he proceed to do? He proceeds to trash talk CM Punk, and CM Punk makes him pay for it. Drew's standing on the announcer's table. Punk sweeps the legs and then starts beating him, and then what does Punk do? Takes the brace off and beats him with it. And then what does Punk also do? Oh, just completely recreate and give us a new Judgment Day theme meme where it's like if you hear it playing, the person turns around and all that. So there was that. Damian Priest finally fucking used his brain. Gay Undertaker, Country Taker, finally used his brain cells and cashed in Money in the Bank. And we have yet another new World Heavyweight title. New heavyweight champion in Damian Priest. Drew didn't have the belt for a solid 5 minutes, and they punked him out like that. Does it suck? Yes. Is it finally glad that Damian Priest actually used his fucking brain and cashed in his Money in the Bank contract? Yeah. Does the belt look good on Damian Priest? Yeah, it actually kind of does. It really does. This was also the first time in about 50 years someone from the country of Puerto Rico is world champion. Since Pedro Morales, by the way. So, Damian Priest is in very rarefied company and really good company. Sorry, I had to get a drink of water there for a second. Hell, the thing probably picked it up. So, there was that. The next match on the card... who was it? I have it pulled up here. Oh yeah, by the way, to start this night, they finally did America the Beautiful, and then Stephanie came out. So yes, Stephanie McMahon is back. That was really cool to see. Where is it? I have it pulled up here. Where did it go? I had it. Where is it? Hold on, give me a second, guys. I'm trying to find the results for night 2. By the way, whenever I send this to Brock, make sure to edit all that shit out. So, where was it? I have it right here. All right, here it is. So, the next match is the street fight between Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits between the Final Tester with Bubba Ray Dudley as special guest referee, which we didn't expect that, by the way. Yes, we also, by we, I mean me and Brock. this was basically just, I don't know. This could have been, the street fight stipulation could have been used for Jimmy and Jay, but it was really cool to see, Singapore. It was just Philadelphia. We had to have a street fight, ECW, all that kind of stuff. So, Street Profits and Bobby Lashley win because this is a no DQ. They're about, Karrion was about ready to hit fucking Bubba, and then Bubba pulled out the glasses, and then the funniest thing to come out of this match was they were setting up the tables when they did the get the tables thing. The first table he pulled out, it gave way and it broke automatically. And that was kind of funny to see. So that was really cool to see. They pulled out a second one, and then that one didn't give way. So Montez Ford hits Frost Flash through a table. Street Profits win. Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy. Yada, yada, yada. What match was next? Yes, LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Honestly, best WrestleMania match LA Knight has had since Shane McMahon at Mania 33, by the way. It was that good. Plus, he made LA Knight look like a fucking megastar. Not that LA Knight already is a megastar, but I foresee more main event player. LA Knight is a for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, main event player from now on. Because that crowd was white hot for LA. Also, AJ has a new theme. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of vibe with it. But it's still, they don't want none. But, I don't know. I think it's alright. It's kind of alright. It kind of fits what AJ's doing right now with his character. But, I don't know, man. Jury's still out on it. Yeah, this match was really good because it just made LA look like $1 million, and that's exactly what happened. LA Knight picks up the win at WrestleMania after being off of the card last year to being on the card this year. No one's had a better year. No one's had like that better superstar rise than LA Knight. Now, I think sooner or later we're going to see the title on that waist. Either the U.S. title, IC title, it don't matter. Get a fucking championship belt on his waist ASAP. The next match was the U.S. title triple threat match between Randall Keith Orton, Kevin Owens, and Logan Paul. Before this match even starts, we have KO on a golf cart. And then once Randy comes out, Kevin stops and then backs up, and then he has fucking KO and Randy on the golf cart, and basically KO and Randy just kind of start the match. We're kind of working in unison, and then one of them goes for the pin, and they're like, oh, I thought I was going to do it, and it's like, oh, no, I thought I was going to do it, and then they realize, yeah, let's beat the shit out of each other, and then, yeah, then that happened. All that didn't matter because obviously Logan comes out with a Prime bottle, and we all thought, oh, it's going to be KSI. KSI is going to get hit with an RKO again. No, it wasn't fucking KSI. It was fucking IShowSpeed. Yes. The biggest Cristiano Ronaldo fanboy was on the WrestleMania card. Was at WrestleMania. Not gonna lie, it was the funniest shit ever to see IShowSpeed cussing out Randy Orton and barking at him. And then fucking Randy Orton fucking kicks the shit out of Speed. Dude, it literally probably knocked the wind out of it. It knocked the cap off of the fucking suit that he was wearing. And then they go to the table, and Speed was still barking at Randy, by the way. And then fucking, what does Randy proceed to do? He decides to bark back at Speed and then proceed to hit an RKO on him. And then Speed looks like fucking to hit the Family Guy death pose. Hit the Family Guy pose on the English announce table. Not gonna lie, funniest shit ever. That was downright hilarious. And it's also funny to think that Logan Paul is still progressively getting better in the ring. Which I hate to admit that, but it's true. Like, I really hate to admit that. But anyway, Logan picks up the fucking win. That would have been a perfect opportunity to either give it to Randy or KO. In my opinion. I don't know what they're doing with the U.S. title, man. Are they setting it up for LA Knight? Maybe. I don't know. But I don't know. I really don't know. That would have been the perfect night for it to change hands. That was like one of only 2 titles that change hands in the entirety of the WrestleMania card. So take that as you will. The next match was the Women's World Title. Women's WWE Championship match between Io Sky and Bayley. This match was really good. Like, really damn good. Like, it had no right to be as good as it was, but it was. Then again, it goes to show you the testament of how much of a workhorse Bayley is and just how uber talented Io Shirai is. So, with that, it told a really good story, basically. So, that was really cool to see. Let's just get to the end, because I just want to talk about the main event really quickly. Bayley hits Io with the roast plant, but Io amazingly counters out of it, and straight up, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Someone counter out of the roast plant that way. She basically gets planted on her head and then does a flip. That was really cool to see. Either way, surprisingly, when Io came out, obviously she came out with Damage Control, but Damage Control didn't go out with her to the ring, which I would have totally thought that happened. But either way, Bayley is your new Women's WWE Champion. This was, by the way, her first singles match on WrestleMania, and that's crazy to think. She's 1-0 in singles competition at WrestleMania. So, she should just end at that. Do more tag matches, please. So, I'm going to have to pause this recording real quick, because I'm going to have to be right back. Alright, I am back. Sorry about that, everyone. I just had to take care of some business that I needed to attend to. So, anyway, what was I? Ah, yes. Main event time. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, part 2. Definitely the last time for all the marbles. So, obviously, like I said, on Saturday, Cody and Seth lost. So that means bloodline rules. So what does that mean? Oh, it's just no TQ. So shenanigans. A lot of shenanigans. But before this match starts, we have intros. And by the way, Cody gets the whole 9 yards. He gets the lights going out. He's got these flags and all these new like Jumbotron stuff. And then we see him rise up in his gear that he always wears. And then he's wearing his logo as like a helmet. And then who comes out with the fog? Oh, his fucking wife, Brandy Rhodes. So it's like oh shit, this is fucking happening tonight. It's definitely happening tonight. And then Kingdom plays. Dude gets a ridiculous amount of pyro, walks down the ring, and then here comes Roman, where we see his name on the Tron, and then it was like last year. It was the empty theater, and then we have a literal choir and fucking orchestra do his theme, which was, not gonna lie, really good. But got far less pyro than he got Saturday. Because if you know Roman's intros, especially for like these type of like Manias, Rumble, Crown Jewel, SummerSlam, dude gets a ridiculous amount of pyro. And I mean a ridiculous amount of pyro. But this time, he didn't get as much as I thought he would. So that goes to tell you that usually someone's going to win if they get less pyro. So what I mean by that is usually when it comes to WrestleMania, you can sometimes tell even before the match starts who is winning the match depending on who gets the better intro. Obviously, this time around, Cody got the better intro. Like in Saturday, when The Rock came out, he straight up had a Dark Souls boss entrance like Roman did the year prior. We're talking like me explaining it is not going to do The Rock's intro on Saturday justice. I highly recommend you go onto YouTube and go look up The Rock's entrance on night 1 of WrestleMania. It is downright the coolest shit ever. Like, that shit was gas. And I was like, oh, fuck. I knew he was winning tonight. But anyway, they come down to the ring. I don't really need to explain a Roman match anymore. People have seen this as many times. I don't know how many times now. It's slow. It's very slow-paced. It's very oriented of Roman going the outside a lot. Roman getting all his hits in. Bunch of near falls. You know, good guy getting, whoever's facing Roman getting their offense in. So then we get to, oh God, I don't know how far we got in the match. So remember, this is basically a no DQ match. So that means we can get a bunch of run-ins. And I think it was about, I don't know how many minutes it was into the match. But we had the first run-in. So obviously everyone was like worried this is basically, how do I best explain this? This is basically WWE's version of Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. So you knew with what happened Saturday, and it was like, okay, Cody lost and Seth lost. That's their Infinity War. So now we're in the Endgame. So run-ins were bound to happen for this match. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. So the first run-in was Jimmy Uso super kicking Cody. And then I think Roman hit a spear. That was for a near fall. And then Jay comes out. And then Jimmy goes up the ramp. They both go off a ramp through a table. So Jimmy is out of the way. So we have about 2 people left that will definitely interfere in this match. And you definitely know who they are. It's Solo Sikoa and The Rock. So the match keep continuing, keep getting near falls, submission attempt. I think there was a guillotine attempt by Roman, and then Cody kept countering it. And then we had a bunch of near falls. Roman hit a crossroads, and he's like, I fucking hate this move. Why does he even use this as a finish? Just a typical Roman Reigns match. Near fall here, near fall there. Maybe a submission attempt, counter. Just the works. So then Cody has Roman on the ropes. He goes for the second crossroads, and then here comes Solo interfering, hits the Samoan spike. And guess what? Roman hits the spear. After the Samoan spike, Cody kicks out at 2. Solo is shocked. So then they hit the Samoan spear, which is the Solo. I call it the Samoan spear, which is basically Solo hits the Samoan spike, and then Roman hits the spear. Near fall. Solo's getting more pissed. And then on commentary, and was like, who is going to stop Solo? John fucking Cena. Everyone was speculating. It was like, oh, it's going to be Sami. Oh, no, it's going to be someone. No. What more fitting way than Cena, the guy Solo beats to be absolutely so fitting that it's the guy that Solo Sikoa beat at Crown Jewel. And it would be fitting that Cena comes in and runs in on this match. So, obviously, you see Cena doing his best Lil Nate impression and just beelining it down the ring. Oh, yes, by the way, that is who the referee is for this. Lil Nate Charles Robinson. So, in my wholehearted expectancy, I was totally expecting Lil Nate to get tapped on the shoulder and then be out of this match for about a solid 10 minutes. Either way, that didn't happen, which stunk. I mean, I really wanted to see a ref bump in this match because that's usually what happens in a Roman match, but it didn't happen this time. But anyway, so Cena comes in, starts attacking Solo, takes from the outside, hits an AA through the Spanish announce table. So there was that. And then, before that, he dumps Solo to the outside, hits Roman with an A, then he goes out to the outside, hits Solo with an A through the Spanish announce table, and then that was a near fall, and then boom, The Rock comes out. So it's like an oh shit moment. Now, you're probably wondering, God, who's going to confront The Rock? Oh, probably everyone was going to be like, oh, here comes Stone Cold. Here comes Stone Cold. I was huffing the copium. It's going to be Stone Cold. It's going to be Stone Cold. I was one of those people. I mean, what more fitting way than someone to stop The Rock than his greatest rival during his time in the WWE than Stone Cold fucking Steve Austin? I mean, just one more fight and I'll be history. My way or the highway. But anyway, The Rock takes out Cena. So now The Rock is in the ring. He's talking trash. He's dropping F-bombs. He's making those people in the production truck work their ass off. And then what do we hear? We hear the Shield. We hear the Shield theme. So we're technically Roman's original theme before this one. And then everyone on Twitter, me and Brock included, were like, fucking Jon Moxley gonna come out? Because that was like the second time post-Shield we have ever heard, like post-breakup of the Shield. Obviously Roman used it, but like we're talking the last time the Shield music happened was like 2 years ago? Was it 2 years ago? It was like 2 or 3 years ago. It was when the Rumble was in St. Louis. So, and here we see Seth, and then here we see Roman coming into the ring and doing a Superman punch on Seth in the Shield gear. We're talking the tactical vest, all black, tactical vest, blonde hair, everything. Roman hits a Superman punch. It's kind of funny. He was spilled to the outside. So he comes in, hits a Superman punch, and then rolls back out to the outside. Like, homie, just stay in the ring and lay down. So, anyway, now it's just Cody and The Rock in the ring. So, you're wondering, it's definitely going to be Stone Cold. Definitely going to be Stone Cold. Rock is saying all this stuff, and he's like, I'm the final boss, la la la. And then what do we hear instead of glass breaking? Oh, just a bell. Yep. Arena goes dark. Everyone's fucking losing their mind. This is like the greatest 5 minutes I've ever witnessed in wrestling. This goes in for a span of 5 minutes, by the way. So Jimmy comes in. Jimmy and Jay do their thing. Solo comes in, does his thing. Then Cena interferes. Then here comes The Rock with the belt. With the weight belt. About ready to whip Cody. And then it's like, here comes the fucking Undertaker. And then everything goes black. Then here comes the Undertaker standing behind The Rock in a very meme-worthy-esque picture. And then The Rock turns around, scared shitless that it's the fucking Undertaker, and then goes for a fucking chokeslam. So then, that way, The Rock is done. The Rock is done. He's out of the picture. So now, mind you, Seth had a chair going into the ring. So Roman gets back up into the ring, and so does Seth. This is a very crucial point in the match, by the way. And very long-term booking, long-term storytelling. So obviously, there's a whole Twitter thread explaining about Seth, like the history of Seth and Roman, is a very good thread. I would highly recommend going and finding it. Hell, I might have the editor link this in the description below to go read this. It is very, very good. Let me put it that way. You can obviously tell, especially with the Shield, first of all, there will never be a group like the Shield ever again. And second, Roman has made it very clear, even before all this tribal chief stuff and post like breakup, that he never wanted the Shield to break up in the first place. Like, it is still a bittersweet. It is a scar that is never healed or faded. It is a scar and a wound that is never faded or healed in Roman's eyes. Seth has had his things about the Shield. Obviously, he was the one that was like, he turned on the Shield and all that. So, there was that. But Roman was the one that was just, will always never let it go. So, here's Cody in the ring. And here's Seth in the ring. And he has a chair. He has a steel chair. One, he has two options. One, hit Cody with the chair and finish this match to make sure Roman can go and stay as undisputed Universal Champion. Or he can do the other thing and get his revenge that has taken him so long to get to. And get the payback that he has almost, I wouldn't say rightfully deserved, but in his eyes, it was justified. And once he hits Seth with the chair. Not focusing on his opponent that he is facing. Rather, he focused on a lifelong, what he thought he would be called a friend. And he hit him with the chair. Just to get back at what happened all those years ago. And what does it do? It's almost like how do I put this? Yeah, I guess this is an Infinity War, almost an Infinity War kind of deal. And it was like what did it cost you? Everything. And it did. It cost him that match because he wasn't focused on Cody. He was so focused on Seth that he didn't realize Cody was still in this match. So, Roman tries to go for a spear. Roman hits the Superman punch. Then he goes for the spear. Cody counters it. And he goes for the crossroads. Gets him up, goes for another one. Slowly gets up for the third and final one. And he hits it, and it connects. 1, 2, 3. We've got a new fucking champion. And you know what makes this moment even better? So, I haven't given my MVP for WrestleMania yet, but I'm just going to give it to you now. Samantha Irvin. She pulled double duty and was the ring announcer for both nights of WrestleMania. And by God, she's downright one of my favorites. She's up there with Howard. I think it's Jake Roberts. I always know him as the guy that got choked out by Daniel Bryan. Lillian, and then her. Those are like my 4 favorites. Like, she is the 4th favorite. So, it was a very, I know sometimes there's, I guess for a ring announcer, there's not supposed to be biases, but you could tell in her voice, like, this was 2 years in the making. Let's be honest here. This was 2 years in the making. And you can hear her getting very emotional about this. Then again, a lot of people were on both sides for right reasons and the wrong reasons. Like, you can hear her voice, like, she's about ready to cry. Like, this was, like, such an awesome moment that after 2 years, Cody finally did it. He finished the story. He got the title his dad never had. And it was just such a sweet moment because you see Punk, Cena, who else? Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, LA Knight, Sami Zayn, Brandy, Cody's mom, Brandy's dad, or Cody's father-in-law, and then some other family, which I'm surprised, and then, Triple H and, who else was out there? God, who else was out there? There was a lot of people out there. But just everyone that, like, all basically Cody's friends and people that have been wronged by the Bloodline were out there. And it was just such a sweet moment because, one, this is 2 years in the making, obviously. It was so worth it. It was such a cathartic moment. And you know what's funny enough? This whole entire sequence, main event, like from the start of the intros to now, this lasted an hour. By the way, there's like a video of the entirety of the main event from Cody's entrance to the end of it. This is an hour long. An hour long. It did not feel like an hour. It felt like 20 minutes. But it was, man, it was so nice to see because after 2 years, it was so nice to see Cody finally finish the story and get it. Because after this year, it is, ever since he won that second Royal Rumble, and then after they almost had this as Roman and The Rock for the main event, it really cemented, the fans really cemented, and it also showed in WWE's terms that this is the guy now. Roman can take his well-deserved rest after 4+ years of... Look, I have my harps with Roman being Universal Champion these past 4 years, but god damn, there was highest of highs and there were very low lows, and we were getting to the point where I got sick and tired of it. But looking back on it now, he basically took the company on his back and said, let's go. Because he was champion during COVID, especially when he's still immunocompromised and he's still taking medicine for his leukemia. I know people are going to be like, well, why is he not taking time off? Well, because it's in remission. He's taking medicine for it. So, where he doesn't have to do, chemo, all that kind of stuff. But, god damn, you got to give Roman his flowers. There's probably no one happier in that ring than Roman was. Because you can see it on his face when he took the pin. Like, you can see him smiling. And, of course, I don't think we'll see Roman for a bit. I think we'll see him when he comes back. I think we'll see him by... When's SummerSlam this year? I think we'll see him by then. I think after, these 4 years of Roman holding the title, I think he'll be an on and off champion where, yeah, he might hold the title. Maybe, I don't know. He's already held every major title that he needs to hold. He's already a Grand Slam champion 2 times over. So, it's just... I can't help but say thank you to Roman. Even though he won't ever hear this or see this, I can't help but thank him. Because he basically took the company in a very tough time during the pandemic, and he just put it on their back. And he has kind of done that for the past... I'd like to say when he picked them up in a very dark time before live crowds came back. And there's that. So, overall, WrestleMania 41... or 40 XL. Overall, if I had to give it a grade, I'd give it a solid... It's a lot... I mean, I don't know. 39 was good. If I had to give it a letter grade ranking, I'd give it an A. Like a solid A. Yeah, there were only like... When the only 2 matches that were real stinkers were Jimmy and Jay and then the street fight, you're kind of doing something right. Like, I had fun with night 1. Night 1 was very entertaining, and then night 2 was balls to the wall fun. So, overall, I'd have to give it a solid A. Now, let's go to the Raw after Mania real quick. So, obviously... We have, they have Cody come out as champion, and then they show him this 3-minute, or they show him this, video package with Rise Up. So good. It was so goddamn good. And then The Rock comes out, and it was probably the most awkward segment I've ever seen. I know there's been awkward segments years prior, but this one was really awkward, because The Rock was like, can I hold your title? And Cody was like, only if I can hold your title, which is totally fictitious, by the way. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, The Rock, during the Hall of Fame stuff, he got presented the People's Champ. He got awarded a belt for the People's Champion by Muhammad Ali's widow. So, and the crowd in Philly was reacting very normal, because this was like really, really awkward, because like, Cody just won, and now here comes The Rock. Like, I guess The Rock is trying to congratulate him, even though it's kind of there undertones of like, I won that title. I pinned you, by the way, on Saturday for that title. So technically, I'm next. So that was really awkward. So that was like really the only major thing to come out of the Raw after Mania, because there was no surprises other than both NXT men's and women's champions were on Raw. We had Ilya Dragunov going up against Shinsuke Nakamura, and Ilya won while he was still NXT champion. And then we have Roxanne Perez beating Indy Hartwell. Both of these matches were not title, by the way. But it's really nice to see that they were both on main roster for this. For Ilya, it makes more sense, because I think Ilya, sooner or later, because I think the draft is at the end of the month, by the way. Is what they said. It was like, starts on the 26th and then it ends on the 28th or 29th. I don't remember what day they said. Either way, the draft is coming up at the end of the month, so it's going to be interesting to see where certain wrestlers go, and I'm looking forward to that. Oh yeah, by the way, so obviously the Judgment Day had a celebration of Damian Priest. Damian Priest winning the World Heavyweight title, and he's like, stand up for the Judgment Day. And who do you think shows up? None other than everyone's favorite Judgment Day member, mine included, R-Truth, with his tag team title. I love R-Truth, man. I love him. I love R-Truth to death, man. He is so unironically hilarious. I don't know if I love this stick that he does. I feel like this is his thing where he's like acting stupid, but he's completely aware of certain things. But it was hilarious to see. So anyway, obviously R-Truth still thinks he's a member of the Judgment Day. And then Miz comes out, he's like, Truth, we're not a member of the Judgment Day. And he's like, oh yeah? Well, now we're going to have a 3-on-3 tag match with the Awesome Truth and the guy you can't see against the Judgment Day. And so, obviously, there's no one there. Hint, hint. There's obviously no one there. And even the Miz was like, guys, Miz, he was like, Truth, there's no one there. And so he was like, yes, he is. He's right there. You just can't see him. Hint, hint. And then, so anyway, it starts as a 3-on-2 handicap match. Judgment Day is obviously in control. And then here comes John Cena. Finally, R-Truth gets to tag with his lifelong childhood hero, even though I'm pretty sure Truth was in his 40s or in his 30s when Cena made his main roster debut in the 2000s. So, at this point, look, I love Cena. Time has shown that Cena wasn't as bad as we thought it was. Like, when Cena had the titles, it wasn't as bad as we thought it was. Cena was just really doing his job. And I applaud him for that. He did really great during the PG era, Super Cena and all that. But at this point, I'm starting to realize that I'm going to enjoy all these moments that when we see Cena, because I know sooner or later he's going to be, even though he still looks like he can Wrestle with the Greats still go today. It's gonna sooner or later that time that clock will strike midnight for Cena. I mean, he's already had a Hall of Fame career, in my opinion. I think is he a Grand Slam champion? I don't think he is. But either way, Cena, R-Truth, and The Miz, they do they do triple 15 knuckle shuffle, as Cole like to call it, and then 3 AAs. Austin Truth and John Cena win. Other than that, I mean, Drew cut a promo before the Fatal 4-Way to decide who's going to be the number one contender for Damian Priest. So, obviously, he's rightfully pissed off. And then here comes CM Punk interfering and costing Drew the match. So, main event, Jey Uso is now going to be the number one contender for the World Heavyweight title. Honestly, I feel like they're building this match too early. Because I don't want this pay-per-view. I don't want this match at Backlash. I want this match at SummerSlam. I do. I want this match at SummerSlam. I don't want this match at Backlash in France. Yes, by the way, Backlash is being... Yes, Backlash in about... 2-3 weeks time? As of this recording, whenever it goes out. I'd say 2 weeks by now. But whenever this podcast comes out, I'd like to say 2 weeks from now. 2-3 weeks from now. WrestleMania... It's not WrestleMania Backlash, I think. It's just Backlash now. Thank God. But... Backlash is going to be coming from France, so it's really nice to see that they're doing more international pay-per-views, even though sometimes, I think the Australia one, it was like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. It was like very late at night. It was like 2 in the morning, I think, when Elimination Chamber started a couple months ago. But it's really nice to see that they're going international with a lot of these pay-per-views, so there was that. Yeah, so anyway, I mean... It was a very tame, very, very calm Raw after Mania. Nothing really major happened other than, John Cena showing up. The Rock showing up. Who else? Both NXT men's and women's champions showing up. It was a very safe approach to the Raw after Mania. I don't think there was nothing crazy that really happened. We didn't see anyone make a main roster debut. We didn't see anyone, sign, we didn't see any surprise, free agent signings, because everyone thought in their mother MJF was going to be in WrestleMania or on the Raw after Mania, but who knows? You could see him Friday. I'm just saying. Overall, this weekend was fucking hella entertaining. We had Stand and Deliver Saturday afternoon, then we had night one, or we had we started on Friday with, the WrestleMania SmackDown, and then we had Stand and Deliver on Saturday afternoon, then we had night one of WrestleMania, then we had night two of WrestleMania, and then now we had the Raw after Mania. So, overall, pretty damn good weekend for WWE. If you're an AEW fan, you're fucked. You're fucked, my guy. Oh, speaking of AEW, this is the only time I'm going to talk about AEW. So, you know how weeks prior, CM Punk was doing an interview with Ariel Helwani about, the brawl out and all that kind of stuff. So, he said there was footage of it. Punk alluded that there was footage of it, but, there was an NDA in place, all that kind of stuff. And he basically said, I don't need to sign an NDA, but I'm not in the wrong, which he wasn't. But I guess Mr. Khan is going to throw a hissy fit, and this Wednesday he's going to have the Bucks show footage of the brawl out. Or I don't know which footage he's showing, but there is footage that they're showing. And from what Sean and a bunch of other people can tell, this is the real deal. This is actual footage from this is actual footage that they have. So that's the only thing I'm going to talk about for AEW. I'm not going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. Other than that, that's all I really got. You guys can follow me on Twitter at dude_rex14. The D and the R are capitalized. You can follow B Card Entertainment. We have a Twitter. You can follow it at B_card ENT. The B, the C, and the E are all capitalized. Other than that, this has been the special WrestleMania edition of We Are Not Entertained. I've been Tommy Haley. Make sure y'all stay safe. Hopefully all your eyes are intact, because this will probably be going out after the solar eclipse. So make sure your eyes are okay, and have a good rest of your week, day, month, whenever this goes out. Bye, everyone.
This has been We Are Not Entertained with Tommy Haley. A B Card Entertainment podcast, copyright B Card Entertainment 2024.